We're not under your jurisdiction.
I'm Morris American from the land of Exuma, Turtle Island.
I just don't have a clue of what's going on with this.
I don't want to be a United States citizen no more. I'm not subject to United States no more. I'm tired of paying taxes. I can't even afford the insurance. My birthright is all I'm standing on. That's all I have, Your Honor. All due respect. I'm Morris American. I'm indigenous to this land. Nobody dragged me from Africa. This is my land. And you're going to respect me when you see that flag.
Receive the documentations that you had. He has a table of contents here. He has a declaration of nationality legal notice, declaration of nationality, name correction, proclamation, public and publication, judicial notice and proclamation to all elected United States Republic office and public servant of federal, state, city, and municipal governments, personnel, and corporate entities concerning the Constitution and all statutory and civil law codes of the land. Know all men, etc. Know all men be these present. I, Grayson Bay, being duly affirmed, standing squarely, declare and proclaim upon divine law, naturals law, universal law, Morris birthrights international law, and constitutional law, declare and say, I being previously identified by the Union States Society of North America USA under the colorable warship name Javar Tyrone Grayson. I'm not going to continue to read the rest of that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well said, though. Thank you.
I just don't have a clue of what's going on with this.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to witness one of the most intense standoffs in courtroom drama. Right out of the gate, this sovereign citizen refuses to even acknowledge the authority of the court. You can feel the tension crackling in the air as he challenges the judge's very right to speak. It's not just disrespect, it's a full-on rebellion cloaked in pseudo-legal language. This man isn't just talking back, he's launching an all-out verbal assault on the foundation of the legal system.
Just a declaration of my nationality, Your Honor. Thank you, though. Well said, though.
Okay, so, and how? What am I supposed to take of this? You know, are you saying you're not American?
I'm Morris American from the land of Exuma, Turtle Island. The issue is the corporation of United States, and that's the issue. And I'm under a natural law as Grayson Bay. I'm in natural form now. Yeah, but that's my nationality.
Right, so let's get to this.
Once again, I did proclaim that the court didn't have jurisdiction over me. That's where we were at.
For this matter, you know, Miss Snyder I guess she's assigned and she's going to be handling this matter. You said it's set for jury trial tomorrow.
Yeah, what I wanted to do was this, because I mean, I'm prepared to rule on some of this without even a jury trial. The only matter that I was really is the false name issue, which is what probably I'll let a jury decide on that, because this other stuff. That's why I had you on. It was an opportunity. These were things that were filed, that he had filed, and I don't know if you've read them or had a response, or I know you probably haven't, but your office. It says, notice to all law enforcement, nationals or citizens are not required to show identification to a police officer. So what I'm going to do, he cited a Supreme Court case, Collender versus Lawson, 461 U.S. 352, 1983. And it says, in which the United States Supreme Court ruled that a police officer could not arrest a citizen merely for refusing to present identification. Now, I'm not even going, did you get arrested, Mr. Grayson Bay?
I was obtained.
All right, guys, it gets even wilder here. As the judge tries to maintain order, this man doubles down, refusing to stand, give his name, or even engage like a regular defendant. His strategy? Drown the courtroom in legalese, claiming he's a natural man outside the jurisdiction of the court. But instead of gaining ground, he's digging himself deeper. The judge's patience is razor thin, and you can sense that things are about to explode if he keeps poking the bear.
So if there's no arrest, then how is this even pertinent here?
And under my jurisdiction, that's an arrest.
Well, we're not under your jurisdiction.
Once he touched my vehicle, it's a violation.
Well, listen, I don't recognize your jurisdiction in this court. I recognize the state of Michigan ordinances and laws and the Michigan court rules. So I'm going to conclude that this based on this document that you've given me, this would be your lead case. That I'm not going to consider that necessarily an arrest. You weren't taken into custody, were you? If that's your authority that I just read as far as your Morris Nation, I don't understand that.
Your Honor, also I'm not asking for a jury trial. I'm asking for you to make this decision.
Right, but I told you that I'm not going to waive your jury trial rights. You're going to let
I don't want a jury trial. I want you. I trust you.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I trust you. I think you can make a firm decision and what's going on here. I'm pretty sure you see.
I'm going to make a decision right now on this stuff right now on most of it. All I told you I'm going to do is the failure to ID.
All right, sure. I don't want this to hang up now.
The failure, false info and ID. I'm not going to make a decision on that. I'm going to let a jury make the decision on that.
I'm not really getting an understanding. I don't think you can even find 12 Morris people to even judge me with my peers. I mean, I'm not even going to consent to that. So I don't understand.
Well, how are you going to let me? Why do you want me to do it? I'm not Morris.
Well, then you need to file a motion to dismiss this case.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
You got to file those motions on your own.
I'm telling you verbally right now. I'm filing a motion to dismiss this case.
Okay, I'm going to dismiss. I'm not going to grant the motion.
Hold on tight, because here's where the pressure cooker starts to boil. The man argues that the court is a corporation, and he doesn't consent to its authority. That might sound wild to most, but this is a classic sovereign citizen move. But the judge isn't playing games. Her responses are ice cold, sharp, and decisive. You can tell she's heard all of this before, and she's about to shut it down hard. The battle lines are officially drawn, and the courtroom just turned into a battlefield.
Take it to the next level. I'm not paying. That's just it. I'm Morris American, man. I'm Morris American. Okay?
I'm not gonna go back.
That's my birthright.
Listen, I understand that. Listen, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not disputing.
Right. I don't even think the prosecutor even wanted to attempt to even battle this. And it's not even against you, Judge. I understand your situation. You wants to be the ref. You can be the referee in this, but I don't think the prosecutor even want to go through this.
All right.
Motion to dismiss, Your Honor.
Mr. Greer. All right.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Tucker, can you go back to the breakout room? Just tap your prompt. Tap your prompt, please.
Your Honor, I need you to accuse yourself.
Yeah. All right. No, I'm going to continue on. So that's the case he cited.
I filed a motion for you to accuse yourself.
I'm going to deny it.
Okay. Well.
You can put it in writing. I'll deny it. So let's continue on with this notice to all law enforcement that the Supreme Court case was cited. And I haven't read that case yet, but I'll look it up. There is no such thing as failure to identify. You can sue the police for an illegal arrest and resist arrest with impunity. Okay, so he cited some cases here, State versus Robinson. Looks like a Maryland case. State versus Mobley in those North Carolina case, State versus Adams versus State, Georgia case. And I guess you're saying on those cases that the person did not have to, you can sue the police, that they sued the police and successfully sued the police for their a wrongful arrest and resistant arrest.
Your Honor, excuse me. I also have Thompson versus Smith, the right to travel.
Well, that's on the next. I'm going under the failure to identify heading there.
Oh, okay.
Guys, it's pure chaos now. As the judge calmly reads the charges, this man erupts with non-stop interruptions, declaring himself immune to laws. It's not just disruptive, it's almost delusional. You can see the tension in the judge's face as she tries to keep the proceedings on track. The courtroom energy is shifting. This isn't a legal argument anymore. It's a full-on performance. And it's clear, this man's tactics aren't just failing, they're backfiring. Hard.
That's under the next heading. So the next heading is personal liberty, the right or power of locomotion, of changing one's situation, or moving one's person to whatsoever place one's own inclination may direct without imprisonment or restraint, unless by due course of law. Unless by due course of law. Now I don't know where you got this. If this is a law, you didn't cite anything from that.
It goes on into Thompson versus Smith, the right of a citizen to travel.
Okay, the right of a citizen to travel upon public highways and to transport one's property thereon, either by carriage or automobile, is not a mere privilege which a city may prohibit or permit at will, but a common right which she has under the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And again,
I believe I've read
Murlock versus.
Hold on, wait a minute, wait. Let's deal with this one right quick. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, no problem.
What are you saying? What do you believe this case says?
Are you referring to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
It says what it says. I'm just waiting on your decision. I'm here to defend my birthright and my nationality. When you say that 5-pointed star on the street, leave me alone. That's my nationality. That's all I ask for. We should be questioning the officer for even bringing me to you. They got to have respect for that nationality, and that's all I'm here to prove. My nationality and my birthright. All that other color stuff and colorism calling me black, I'm not permitting that. I'm sorry. He probably shouldn't have brought me to you, and that's the issue. We should be held him accountable for his actions, not you or the prosecutor. I'm pretty sure the prosecutor don't even want to battle this. But I'm going to stand on my birthright and my nationality. That's my right. That's my common law. I'm very passionate about it, Your Honor, as you can see. So if I seem a little upset or if I get a little, mischief at you, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But my birthright will stand.
All right, this is the part where everything spirals. The defendant throws out phrases like, "I don't consent," and "You have no authority" over me with wild confidence. But here's the thing. He's not arguing the law. He's arguing his own fantasy version of it. Meanwhile, the judge's tone gets sharper, cutting through the nonsense like a knife. She's not raising her voice, but you can feel her authority tightening with every word. It's a brutal takedown done with composure and precision.
Don't want to be a United States citizen no more. I'm not subject to United States no more. I'm tired of paying taxes. I can't even afford the insurance. My birthright is all I'm standing on. That's all I have, Your Honor. All due respect. I'm Morris American. I'm indigenous to this land. Nobody dragged me from Africa. This is my land. And you're going to respect me when you see that flag. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go back to what you filed here. Thomas versus Smith, 154 Southeast 579. I I think you need to read that in its entirety, because this is one of the cases that I've seen before that has been filed, and it appears to the court that it's saying exactly the opposite of what you believe it's saying. It is saying that the city can revoke your license. You don't have the authority to operate a vehicle on the city streets.
You want to battle the dead entity. That's what it is. You want to charge me on this dead entity side, and I can't.
No, I don't know what you mean by charging on the dead. I'm going by. Wait a minute. Here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna talk. You're gonna listen. I'll let you talk.
Yep.
I'll let you talk. I'll listen.
Let's get it. You're right.
You filed this.
That's right. You did.
You cited this case law. Okay, so you're saying, and I'm giving you the benefit of going over this stuff.
Thank you.
This is another case that I'm gonna that you cited, that I am going to tell you that it's actually Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham. This is the court actually.
Okay. Now it's turning downright surreal. The man claims he's being kidnapped by the court and refuses legal representation. That's right. He's fighting for imaginary freedoms with no backup and no plan. But the judge? She's relentless. Her legal grip doesn't loosen, not for a second. Watching this play out is like witnessing a chess game where one player keeps denying the rules exist. And in real time, we're watching him lose, piece by piece, word by word.
How will you be offensive?
I'm taking offense to you filing this and using this in your filing as a reason for you not to have a driver's license. And I don't know if you've read this case or not. It doesn't seem and appear that you've read any of these cases thoroughly, because I've gone through each one of these cases at different times, and if each of them say exactly the opposite of what you appear that it says. And the Shuttlesworth case goes back to a time in history where we're still dealing with, where Reverend Shuttlesworth was a reverend in Birmingham, Alabama. And you're citing this case to saying that Shuttlesworth was saying that he can drive without a valid driver's license.
Definitely travel.
That analogy to this case, and it's saying nothing of that sort. And I wish you would take time and read to what this case is saying, because I don't even think you, as a Moorish American, would I think you would retract this case law right here from what you've filed. You're using the people in the civil rights era who are trying to fight for their rights to march or down a public street. That's what this case was about. He's taken his congregation down the public street. He walked them on the sidewalk. He did not interfere with any traffic, and he crossed the street not against the lights or anything, and they still arrested Mr. Shuttlesworth for not having a license to congregate.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but
you're right.
You're saying that he needs to have a license. That is analogous to you not having a license to drive.
If he want to proclaim he's black, he needed a license.
All right, I'm done with this. I've spent enough time on this, and as what I'm going to do is I'm going to rule on the cases ahead of trial for the refusal to exhibit driver's license. I'm going to find you guilty of that. For the refusal of
Guys, this moment right here is where the hammer drops. The judge lays down the consequences, and the sovereign citizen finally realizes he's out of moves. You can see it in his face, confusion turning into panic as the reality sets in. He thought he could talk his way out of the system, but instead, he's only trapped himself deeper. This is the point where fantasy collides with real-world consequences. And that courtroom silence? It speaks louder than anything he said.
For having no insurance and no proof, I'm going to find you responsible. I'm going to find you responsible for an expired plate. We'll go to trial on the seatbelt, on a formal hearing on the seatbelt issue tomorrow and the false ID tomorrow. All right, that's going to be the ruling of the court. If there's nothing further, Mr.
Yeah, there is, Your Honor. Can you send that information in writing? You have the address.
Be on the ROA, and you get a transcript made up by the court. All right.
Okay.
What time you gotta be?
What time is court tomorrow?
It's going to be come on at 8:30.
Okay, you're going to do this again? Because no jury trial.
It's going to be a jury trial. All right.
I want a jury trial.
But you don't make the rules.
But tomorrow, I'm
this is my courtroom.
Request and
jury trial tomorrow.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys, here's the final blow. The court moves forward, and there's no last-minute escape for our sovereign citizen. The judge proceeds with sentencing, cutting straight through his defiance with icy authority. It's a sobering reminder. The legal system doesn't play. Pretend, and no amount of made-up jargon can override real-world laws. If anything, this entire showdown proves that arrogance and ignorance make a dangerous mix. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.